Hi guys, it's Miss Mia here, and I'm joined by a special guest today. This is my brother. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Mohammed. I'm the eldest brother of Miss Mia, and it's a great opportunity to spend a bit of time to talk about Ramadan and the importance of Ramadan and why it's the holiest.
Sorry, I meant a short introduction, not a long introduction.
Huh?
So let's carry on.
LOL.
Lots of you may know that at the moment Muslims around the world are celebrating the holy month of Ramadan, and we thought it would be a really good opportunity to create this video to inform you guys a bit more about the month and why Muslims celebrate it and what they actually do during the particular month. Some of you out there watching may be fasting at the moment, which is excellent, and hopefully from watching this video you'll have a really good understanding of the month of Ramadan and you'll learn something new. So hopefully you'll all enjoy it, and watch the video.
Enjoy.
Okay.
So Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, and it is the month where Muslims who can fast, who are able to fast between dawn until sunset.
Well, Christmas is always on the 25th of December, so is Ramadan always at the same time each year?
Good question. So Christmas follows the solar calendar, as in the sun calendar, and Ramadan follows the moon calendar, which is called the lunar calendar, which means that every year Ramadan goes back by around 11 to 12 days. So this year Ramadan, whenever it started, next year it's going to be behind by 11 or 12 days. So it's not always the same every single year, and it takes 33 years for it to come back to itself.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting fact, boys and girls. So I've always wanted to know, when did Muslims first begin to fast and participate in the month of Ramadan?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the month of Ramadan was the month when the Quran was first revealed to the Prophet, peace be upon him, or sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Allah has said in the Quran, in the Holy Book, that He has prescribed fasting to us like it was prescribed to people before us, as in previous nations. Now, if you look at different religions, then there's always an element of fasting. We believe as Muslims that there's a whole line of prophets that came down from God to reveal the message, which is, God is one. And every single religion has a element of fasting. And the purpose of the fasting is that if you fast in the month of Ramadan, then you'll have a benefit from not only physical, but of a spiritual.
Okay, so if you think about it, boys and girls, in the idea of Christianity, if we think about Lent, what happens during Lent?
People fast.
Or they give something up for the month of Lent. So that's what my brother means by there's an element of fasting in lots of different religions.
If you, with Lent, if Orthodox Christians would be fasting in Lent. However, modern day, what things have happened is that you substitute something or you take something away. So some people don't eat chocolate or sugar or something like that. But the original biblical sources is that they would fast accordingly.
Okay, great, thank you.
So the people who have to fast is for it's in sequence. So you have to be a Muslim. You have to be an adult. Yeah. You have to be in physically good condition. Your fasting should not have an impact on your health. So, for example, if somebody relies on medication throughout the day, obviously in fasting you can't take any medication, so that will hinder their health, so they can't fast. So if you're fit and healthy, you would fast from dawn till sunset. And at any point, if you feel that your fasting is getting to you, then you break your fast and make that fast up. And it's really important to understand that whilst it is from dawn till sunset, if you feel that your health is in danger or you're getting dehydrated, then saving your health is more important than the actual fast itself. So you'd break your fast and then obviously take the medication or whatever is that you need, and then make that fast up after Ramadan. So those are a kid should not be fasting.
But they can do if they want to.
Yeah, so they can do. For example, they can make the attempt to fast and try to improve. And the whole point is if they'd fasted, for example, currently fasting is around I think 15, 16 hours. So if they attempted and one day they fasted for, let's say, 3 hours, then they do the next day for 4 hours, and so on and so forth. So there's no obligation, it's just for them to attempt. Your second part of the question is what are the benefits. So the benefits are two. Firstly, the physical benefit. The physical benefit is that during the state of fasting, you're in hunger mode, which means that you have heightened awareness and heightened senses. So those kids who are out at home and studying, you'll notice that when you fast, or if you attempt to fast, that your attention span becomes more. You lose weight. You also have a biological impact, a positive impact in your body as well. But we're not interested in that one. No. We're interested in the spiritual aspect. Now, fasting is of different levels. The most lowest level is that during dawn until sunset, you don't eat, drink. And there's a third option, which I don't need to mention because you're too young to know this stuff. If a person abstains from these three things, then they have achieved the objective of fasting. But the next level is where they do the bottom three, and then they abstain from eating, drinking, and something else. But at the same time, now they're aware of what they say, how they act, what they behave. And the highest level is where they are now focused on how to achieve and become a better person, how to get closest to God. The whole point of Ramadan is what Allah says in the Quran, that you may become people of taqwa, meaning people of God-fearing, meaning that you're conscious and you're self-aware and self-conscious about the people around you. So fasting is an opportunity for you to, during the state of hunger, really suppress your inner thoughts and inner desires and become a better person. So this is why Muslims are more focused on the spiritual side of the benefit as opposed to the physical side of the benefit.
Lots of people also mention that during the time of fasting, when people are observing this particular month, that they get to reflect on what they are grateful for. So actually having the basic amenities like food, shelter, and so on. And actually it makes us maybe a bit more charitable and a bit more aware of people around us who don't have such things. Do you want to elaborate on that slightly?
Yeah, so very similar to so in the month of Ramadan, when people are not eating and drinking, so something that's allowed, so eating and drinking is allowed, you're now, because of God's command, you're now imposing yourself not to eat and drink, which basically means that during the course of the day, when you're fasting for 16, 17 hours, you're able to have a assimilation with people around the world who don't have the food throughout the whole week, for example. So during the course of fasting, what tends to happen is that the intake of food of human beings becomes lower. Because of that intake is lower, then you're able to really focus on the people around you who are vulnerable, and also people around the world who don't have food. And that's the point that you're making, which is they become more aware that they're more grateful for the food that they have. So generally in the UK, a third of our food is wasted. Now imagine if we flip the coin, if the third of our food we were to donate to somebody, then that becomes very, very charitable. So during the month of Ramadan and fasting, you're able to appreciate the food that you're able to eat. For example, if after a long day of fasting you're able to have a bit of dates or some meat or whatever it is, you respect the food more. You're more conscious of the food, and you're not going to waste the food. And there's a huge problem around wastage of food, which shouldn't happen. But you're right. So the more we fast, then we're able to
we become a bit more reflective in nature, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. You reflect on the people that don't have the food, especially in central London and in and around London areas where homelessness is very, very high. I mean, God has given us a house and warm meals, people who are homeless, they don't have warm meals for days on end. So it's an opportunity to reflect and don't waste your food, please.
I think during this current climate, people are a bit more aware of food and food intake at the moment anyway. So keep up, boys and girls.
Okay, that's a good question. So if we just recap as to what they can't do is eat, drink, and the third thing I talk about, you're not allowed to learn yet.
You're not allowed to learn it yet, boys and girls.
Yeah. So those are the three things that they can't do. More importantly, what they can't do is be bad humans to other people. Now, most of the Muslims, what they'll be doing in the month of Ramadan is reading the holy book of the Quran. Now, for any Muslims who are watching this out there, please read the Quran, but also read it to understand what the Quran says. Many people don't know the Arabic language, so please read the Quran with the translation, even if it be small verses. The second thing they'll be doing is doing more prayers, more voluntary prayers. Now, prayer, where Muslim, I'm sure your teachers have already taught you how Muslims pray, is the act that Muslims do to get close to God, as in through prayer. The third thing they'll be doing is they'll be giving a lot of charity in the month of Ramadan. Other things they'll be doing is remembrance of God, reflection of God, helping the wider community, volunteering for the things that volunteering for vulnerable people. And with this COVID stuff, now it's more than ever that we need to become more sociable. Now, my question to you, and this is a challenge, how many of you know your neighbours on the side of you and in front of you? During the month of Ramadan and during the month of reflection and during the time of COVID, this is an opportunity for you to engage with your neighbours and understand, because there could be that your neighbours don't have enough food. So I was saying earlier about wastage of food. This is an opportunity for you to get to know people and start sharing food and becoming more sociable in the eyes of God.
But in a socially distant manner, boys and girls. Stay safe.
2 meters apart. Okay, so that's a good question. So similarly, for the month of Ramadan, after you fasted 29 or 30 days, remember, why is that? Because of the moon sighting. We go by
the lunar calendar.
The lunar calendar. And the lunar calendar is based on the moon sighting. When you see the moon and whatever.
Do you want to say that one more time?
Moon sighting.
Okay, cool.
So what you do is, once you fasted for 29 or 30 days, you have a day of celebration called Eid. Now, Eid means a festival day. And there's 2 Eids in a year. One is Eid al-Adha and one is Eid al-Fitr. The Eid that we're going to do now is going to be Eid al-Fitr. Meaning, after the month of Ramadan, we have a celebration. Everyone gets together, give out gifts. Similar to Christmas, where people give each other gifts and whatnot. But it's called Fitr because you give fitrana, which means you give charity at the end of your fasting as well. As well as giving charity during the fasting and during the month of Ramadan, you give, it's called fitrana at the end of your fasting, which is equivalent to around £5, £5 per person. And this is to given to the needy people who are in need. What you'll notice that on Eid day, people will be wearing really nice clothes and getting really good presents and whatnot. Think about the people in need. Think about all the kids that are orphans. Think about all the kids that don't have a parent, and think about all the kids that don't have a home. So for those vulnerable people, we give fitrana so that they get a little bit of present, so they get some clothes. And Islam is all about not just yourself, it's about how you can make a better impact on the society.
So becoming a better citizen.
Yeah, a better citizen, yeah. But more than a better citizen is a better person yourself, so you self-develop, and then what impact you can have on the society. So that's what we do. We have Eid at the end of Ramadan.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed that video and you learned something new about the month of Ramadan and actually understanding why Muslims around the world celebrate it and the benefits and so on for us as individuals. Thank you to my brother for actually answering all those questions. Is there anything you want to say?
Well, just a simple thing, which is To all the students out there observing the month of Ramadan, I wish you all well and a happy Eid as well. And to all the teachers out there who are working extremely hard from your school, doing all these little videos, thank you very much. And everybody stay safe and enjoy yourselves.
Okay, take care guys, stay safe,
Bye.
see you all soon, bye.